place to go store their goods. But during the 1700s, it became a real ground for the homeless community here in Edinburgh to go and call home, because it was illegal to be homeless and you'd be locked in the stocks if you didn't have a house. So, they would go over just beneath us, and the conditions of here were horrific. Now, this wasn't helped by the fact that the tops of these boats were made out of limestone, so when it rained up here, the water would trickle through the limestone, against the living conditions in the hotel, and nearly 2,000 people came here on New Year's Eve to go and protest against these conditions, and nothing really changed until about 50 years later in 1865. But we are now coming back down the Royal Mile here. On the corner you've got the Radisson Blu Hotel, only made in 1990, being one of the most recent additions to the Royal Mile. Now it's built in this cobblestone style to sort of reflect the atmosphere of the Royal Mile itself. But we're now coming up to stop number 11, guys, so if anybody's hopping off here, then just give me a small wave if you're on the top, or press the red stop button if you are down below. So, fortunate in that my childhood hasn't had been put down in a museum format quite just yet. Not looking forward to those years, I've got to be honest with you. But it's a nice place to go and see what my dad might be getting up to during the 1960s and 1970s. Now, over to your left, here's a bit of a top tip for you. If you're wanting a souvenir from Scotland, don't get one from the Royal Mile. And I'll tell you why. There's 35 gift shops in the Royal Mile alone, and all 35 are owned by the same person. If you go to some of the really great local craft stores, so if you go to the Tron Church, which is just ahead of the stop number 11, you'll see some really great local artists in there, and that's where you'll be able to get beautiful prints of Edinburgh, and you'll see some artwork from the city as well. So that would be a really great place to go and get a genuine local souvenir. And admittedly, I do know a couple of the artists in there, but they're really hard-working people, and it goes to really conditions to be living in, and probably well now that we know today. Now we're going up to stop number 12, and this is a stop by the Congregated Church. So if anybody's hopping up here, then just let me know, or press the stop button if you're down below. And you'll see the church just coming up on our left-hand side, and it is a beautiful church building to go and have a look around and just really indulge in the history of the church itself. Now, whenever the royal family visit Edinburgh, which they will be doing tomorrow, believe it or not, that is because of where they built all of the buildings themselves. So, this is built in a much more modern style to Edinburgh, and it doesn't really fit in with its surroundings very much. It's this new sort of like Parliament buildings, and it contrasts quite vividly against Holyrood Palace and Holyrood Park as well. But there was quite a lot of themes to Scotland interwoven throughout the Parliament buildings. If you look just down below to your right hand side, you will be able to see a couple of little boats, a couple of little benches that are designed to look a bit like fishing boats. And the reason for this is to highlight how Scotland has had a really strong fishing industry being quite prevalent here over the past 2 millennia. So, for as long as there have been people on Scottish shores, there have been people fishing. Now, we are coming up to Holyrood Palace. You'll just be able to get a glimpse of it just on our left hand side. One of my favourite attractions to go and see and do in the city. Controversial opinion, I think it's better than the castle. Although there's more to go and see there, I think the palace is a lot quieter and just, it's a much nicer atmosphere inside of there. The castle is quite busy, rush in, rush out, getting people in and out all the time. Whereas the palace, you can have a visually stroll through the palace and really see this beautiful surroundings to it. Just in front of us, you'll be able to see Holyrood Park, and this is an absolutely beautiful place to go and have a wander around this natural beauty of Scotland. It's a bit like Scotland all rolled into one miniature form. So you've got the jagged cliff face there of Salisbury Crags, you've got the rolling hills from all around, and it's a really beautiful way to go and see all this natural beauty that Edinburgh has to offer. It's unlike anything else in the UK, of just having this huge and sprawling national park just near the city centre, and doing things with your hands. And I think it's a really great way to go and think about more about the objects that are there, right? Because reading them on stuff on a plaque is all well and good, and when you really do and experience something with your own hands and like your own fingers, it really makes for, like, it just sets in a lot more. You learn a lot more by doing it, and you remember it a lot more as well. So, it's an absolutely beautiful place to go and experience how cold a real iceberg is, what it's like to be in a monsoon in a rainforest, and He'll be basically greeted by a mock video of James Hutton talking you through everything that that Dynamic Earth has to offer. All on time. And over on our right hand side, you will see the Edinburgh High School, the longest running continuous high school in the world. Now, obviously, those buildings aren't in operation anymore. It's still operating across half of the city though, with a brand new set of school buildings. Hopefully I've covered up to the end of our tour guide works, and I hope you have all enjoyed. Now, I've been the tour guide Chris, and the driver who's been keeping us nice and safe on the road today has been Dave. Now remember, you're going to hop on hop off ticket, that's about 24 or 48 hours, and you can use it to hop on or hop off at all of the different stops you've been through today. Now this bus should be leaving again in about 5 or 6 minutes, so feel free to stay on the bus if you're wanting to go around again. But genuinely,
get a very quick glimpse of St John's Quarter. Brand new £1 billion shopping development opening at the end of June 2021. Beautiful building on the right there, that's Register House, work of Robert Adam, building of the records of Scotland, births, deaths, marriages. On the left hand side we have the beautiful Balmoral Hotel just in front of us there, opened in 2000 by Sir Sean Connery. The building originally opened in 1901 as the North British Hotel, built courtesy of the North British Rail Company. For the comfort of rail passengers coming up from London and further south. You might notice the clock on the clock tower of the hotel. It's 3 minutes fast. It was set that way by the regulars in the present day. But I'm glad to say it's set back to the right time of the each year. Make sure the bells come into it. The bell in the tower is next to the town. I always like to point out the City Chambers building with the flags and the flagpoles on the roof. Just across the top of Waverley Station now, dead easy to count 12 stories in height on the back of the City Chambers building. It just gives you an idea perhaps of the overcrowding that the old town of Edinburgh must have suffered. Other than some 400 December's Thunderbird Free. It's one of the tallest monuments to a writer anywhere in the world. It's over 200 feet in height. There are in fact 287 steps in the top of the Scott Monument. I'm delighted to see it's open again to visitors. It was closed for over 2 years because of the pandemic. It's open now again, 7 days a week, 10 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. £8 that you enter in a guided tour at the very top, or 287 steps. It's about 50 years since I've last Henry Dundas is standing on the top of the monument. Very controversial figure, Henry Dundas. He was in fact the last British MP to be impeached. For which use of public funds never served in the Royal Bank of Scotland. I can never work out, was he a very tall man? Or was it just a small one? I could never quite figure that one out. Right, you go inside there, it's not 5 minutes of quite honestly. Just the wander in, it's beautiful inside. Look at the ceiling in the back of it, it's amazing. South side of the square comes into view now on our left, full of restaurants, even Gordon Ramsay, his Bread Street restaurant on the side of St Andrews Square. Brooklyn Street, number 8 comes into view, first property built in the street, former home of Baden Lord, and next door to number 8, this beautiful building, that's the Royal College of Physicians, and the architect of the Royal College was Thomas Hamilton. You'll see more of Hamilton's work right at the end of the tour. Now I always think Queen Street retains more of the original character of the New Town Street than either Prince Street or George Street. Essentially, beautiful 3-story still a beautiful thing. Now, north side of the square, we have the Georgian House with the banners on the railings, National Trust property. And next door to that, with a couple just outside the front steps, that's Bute House. That's the official residence of our First Minister. You may have seen that a lot in the news recently, with Hamza, Yusuf resigning and John. roughly 2,000 years ago. The Roman historian Tacitus in 75 AD made mention of the fort on the hill. So there's been a fortified presence on the top of Castle Rock dating back at least 10,000 years. The oldest building today of the castle is St. Margaret's Chapel, built in the early 1100s during the reign of King David I of Scotland. In memory of him. Come back to that then shortly. I always like to point out the last building we'll see in Princess Street on the right hand side there with the columns and the flag. Used to be Bins Department Store, now home to the Johnny Walker Experience. If you want to find out more about whiskey, interesting place to visit. You might notice a clock on the corner of the building. Used to be known as the Bins Clock. Great meeting place up in the Bins Hall. If you met a young lady at the dancing on a Friday, you wanted to see her again, you arranged to meet her at the Bins Clock on the South Green. Many are certainly leaving lads still under the Bins Clock, sometimes for far too long. Long time ago. Now we're into Lowland Road here, stop 5 at the foot of Lowland Road. Going up the stairs for 5, thanks Apple. I've talked briefly about St. Cuthbert's Church, just nestled into the Thornhill Valley there. And trace the history of St. Cuthbert's Church, of the site that it's on, back to the mid-7th century. Now, are you running a stop, folks? Yep. Yeah, do have parcels for the stop, thanks, Alfie. Thanks, right. My understanding is St. Cuthbert's passengers coming down now. Heat on the church. We've even got the cranes around, all the stands ready for the jazz and the concerts. So we pass a good number of pubs, as I mentioned. When you clear the shoes here on the left-hand side, you'll see the last drop. This is really last drop of whiskey. Maggie Dixon's, of course. And then this little round there will come into view on the left-hand page of me, just after the seating areas. That's the cover-out of the road. A few people sitting on there. And then what about Diagon Alley on your left there, going up the hill? Well, I also believe that's where Rowling got her inspiration from for the description of Diagon Alley in the Potting World. She did refute that. I'm not convinced she was. It's pretty good for some years. Coogate in front of us, second oldest street in the old town of Edinburgh. Georgia Fair pub down there. We'll cross that shortly. Then we head up Candlemaker Road. Named after the candlemakers, moved here because of the dangers of fire, also because of the smell. The candles were historically not made from beeswax, as they are today. They were made from animal fat, from tallow, and the smell, I understand, was quite repugnant. Candlemaker Hall comes into view on the right-hand side now, opened 1772. And on the left-hand side, at the very top of the street, end of the railings, you get a very quick glimpse of the back of Greyfriars Body, statue of Little Dog, just next to the lamppost. Story goes, Little Dog was 2 years old. It was Jingling Geordie. He walked around with so much loose coinage in his pockets, and he bequeathed his vast fortune to allow for the development of the school, also to allow for the education of fatherless children of wealthy merchants. There are in fact still bursaries available at George Eliot School today for the education of fatherless children. The theatres, going upstairs for 8, thanks Afia. Castle Rock, I mentioned earlier, an old volcanic plug. There's been evidence of human habitation discovered on the top of Castle Rock, dating back at least 8,000 years, which I think is amazing. Brick building comes into view on the right-hand side with very large windows. I like them. Now we're coming into the main stop of the tour, stop 9 for the castle. Please remain seated. Very bumpy coming in here. Give it a shout and we're safely stopped. So stop 9 is for the Castle Esplanade, the Scotch Whisky Tasting Centre. Don't panic, you're okay. Our driver will decide where's the best place to stop, open the door.
There is as well. I'm sorry.
No, you're right, come on, yeah.
I'll tell you what, I'll just go in there and I'll let you people up.
No worries.
I'm just finishing my shift, sorry.
That's right.
So you're free all you're not getting up here, are you?
No.
I'm not talking about now, I'm talking about then.
G'day, how are you?
Themselves are block stamp, so it wasn't somebody with a paintbrush. We did that because we could see that the painting competitive. You will learn more about the painting ceilings as you go further down the building. So over the 1600s, the building itself, the building itself and Edinburgh itself, very successful city, lots of wealth, so that
and elsewhere, and there are one or two still surviving. They're based.
So there's quite a few of these around Scotland still. This sort of.
I think the last time the plane came to Edinburgh was about 1820, but of course by that stage it knew that it's like when a disease becomes less, then it can't get right as a scarlet fever, you know, it loses its strength. Thank you. So the plague over the centuries, but in the 17th century it was a problem. So, but by the accident of English, you could live to your 60s, 70s, 80s here. Poor people in this old world city had a terrible rough diet, consisted basically of oats and ale. Sometimes oysters if you could get hold of them, and sometimes some fruit and veg. Out here was the landmark that 60s and people would come in from the countryside and sell the owners there. So again, poorer people could maybe get some pickings from fruit and veg. And the average life expectancy of poor people in this overall city in Thompson consisted of 27. Too many of their
Don't stroke the taxidermy cat. He's just knocking about. Hope absolutely loves birds.
Go. if we all.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Edinburgh Castle. You are.
Oh, yes. Yes, we do.
I'd love to see Niagara.
Yeah.
I am on a ship now, so I'll shut the door, but don't, I'm not rushing. I'll tell you, so just close the door. It's just that there's always got to be a guy here. Somebody wanted a souvenir, and guess what, they stole a stone plate. See this one here? Stole that. They wanted a souvenir, and they can't have them tackle. So that's why we've got security somewhere. It's just that there's got to be somebody here, you know. It's just as a precaution.
So we're about 15 minutes in, we're going to all the way up there on the top of that hill. You can see all the people walking up. How you feeling, Miss Oliver?
Good.
Good, let's keep going. So we've got a wee pheasant hanging out over there. We've got this gorgeous swan. Stunning. Come down here, Hope, and see the swan.
I can see it from here.
Can you?
Yeah.
It's huge. Didn't know they got that big.
Quite amazing how far the next flew down.
That one's for you, Shana.